Is it working now? Made it different. Wait, it's working now, I think. That's so weird. I made a new scene with the exact same settings and now it works. Yeah, that's what I've done, but I can unmute the Discord audio and I can hear you, but I don't know if you want to commentate or not. Oh, sweet. W's. Let me just switch off this stuff, or else it's gonna be. Yeah, apologies for that stream. I don't know exactly what happened, but I messed around a bit with my OBS, and now for some other reason it's picking up audio. Oh. Well, while I was fixing, we clearly missed that the Red Bulls overtook Tino. Should be able to. Wait. Oh no, I fully reset the audio tracks. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like OBS is baked. Are we propertying? It shouldn't need to be on the same track.
Advanced audio properties. Look at the grid on the far right under tracks. Ensure every audio source. Oh, yep.
Weird.
We are good.
Oh,
Let's
wait, I
go.
think I know what the issue was.
All right, Stevie, pop that POV up on Discord screen
Oh,
share.
yeah.
Let's go.
Go.
What's up, chat? We got Treyfex Gaming in here. What's up?
Yeah, he's the guy that usually does the co-commentary with me.
Oh,
But he usually also does the streaming, so that's why I didn't have anything set up. Yeah, because the audio
sweet.
tracks, so the problem is on the recordings, it still plays, and then in Premiere, like, it still shows the audios, but then in Premiere Pro, it still does it, but then streaming only takes audio track 1, and not 2 and 3, which is why I was only picking up, at first, my in-game sound, because that used to be audio track 1, and then when I switched it around to my mic, then I was only picking up my mic, but...
Well, on the bright side, it works, so it's good.
True.
And we are do you know what lap possibly we'd be on at this point?
Oh, I've got no idea. I'm assuming somewhere around like 10 or so.
Okay. What do we got for the order here? Looking at the top 5, we got Texi leading the race with Tokyo, Mr. Tino, Spooky, and Brian rounding out your top 5.
Quite a big gap between
See
them
what
all, to be
these.
fair.
Yeah.
Feels like around the edge of the points, we're going to have a bit of a battle. Oh, wait, this is with Burst and Skill Max. So, Tyler, I don't know if you've been following a lot of the season, but the big battle at the moment for constructors is between Red Bull and Audi, and then a Ferrari and Williams, I guess.
I haven't been paying much attention, but that sounds very interesting, to be honest. Red Bull back up on top with that Frosty making some big changes, getting rid of his old drivers from last season, Acid and myself. Going for some top tier talent. That's going to be, I believe, Texi and Tokyo, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. Probably about
Yeah,
two of the
those two
biggest
guys
new
are good.
talent that you can sign.
Yeah, these guys are fresh on the scene. I think only a couple seasons these guys have been racing, but consistently scoring points, consistently on the top of the grid. So it's fun to watch these guys race.
Oh, 100%. So interestingly, actually, those teams I was talking about being locked into a battle are actually the exact teams that are fully covering top 8 now, just with Marshall there being the Aston that's trying to get in between them. And interesting, we also have Twosies back today. I mentioned it earlier when my microphone wasn't working. This is his first race back in 2 seasons.
Twosies is Twosies is P12 at the moment. Twosies was before his little debacle on the server, which we don't even need to chat about too much. He was considered like top 3, top 5, might still be. But with how competitive these seasons have really gotten over the last like 2 seasons, it's guys like Twosies who do you expect to be in the top 3 or top 5 consistently, or you're looking at him at P12 right now. So this is actually the same race that the whole debacle happened on. It was
Yeah.
Tokyo. So it's kind of funny. This is his first race back.
Yes, this is his redemption. Of course, we aren't in Drivers Paddock today, so we won't hear if something's going on this time. But
yeah, let's hope everybody keeps it civil here. This race so far, I think we're seeing that.
So far, there's not even too much battling. I mean, of course, we missed the part where Tokyo has got the overtake on Tino, but haven't seen too much otherwise. I think this Versa and Skill Max battle is going to start kicking up soon, though.
seems like these gaps are pretty close. I mean, they're all within like about a second or a half of a second in between each other here. So one mistake, one slowdown, one guy goes off track, misses an apex or something like that. I mean, they're right on top of each other battling. So this, fine line here for these guys in the mid pack.
Yeah, interestingly, they changed these slowdowns at this corner. I don't know if you know, but they made them a bit more forgiving. So that
I
might
like that.
might change how the race pace goes. And then we have Goofy all the way in the back.
I thoroughly enjoy that. That corner was always like my least favorite on this track. I think it was like the one negative feature that I did not like on this track. Everything else, I mean, Tokyo's just a great layout, high paced. A lot of corners in rapid succession. You've got that unique turn one with kind of an interesting like way that you have to hit it. Especially when you're doing your qualifying lap as well. It's very, very tricky to get right.
Still
You've
don't
got turn
understand how to
2,
take this corner
3,
properly.
4, which is this weird kind of like almost chicane kind of. I wouldn't even know how to describe this thing. It's like the apex you want to take that corner on like juts back inwards. So very interesting with the hairpin here. Just a standard hairpin with a nice flowing right hand exit into the double 90. This is one of those corners that is just made so well because you're hitting it almost full. Like you want to hit it full, but if you upshift too quickly, you can't take it flat, like depending on the setup you're running and the tire compound. So very tricky corner. Another hairpin here, but with kind of another right hander right after it, so you can kind of, get on the throttle a little bit earlier. Judge if you judge it right. Beautiful little long right hander here, almost a hairpin, but it's so wide that it's almost like a 135-degree corner. Nice little bridge going over there, weaving through the towers. We've got my favorite corner to hit. I love these high speed chicanes. It's if you judge it perfectly, it gains you so much time, but it's also on the edge. Like you could hit the inside curb and fly off the track, completely ruin your line, and lose a lot of time. So that's a fun corner to take.
Yeah, this corner's got the controversial UFO curves, which a lot of drivers don't like because it sends you off. But
That was my main thing with that corner, which is why it's so tough, and you're on the edge of your seat basically when you're taking that corner, and then a beautiful, lovely pit lane. I believe this is an icy track.
yeah, I was gonna say this is probably one of my favorite pit lanes that we have on the calendar, just because I don't know. I like how he's set up the lines very well, and overall
It's very
delta for the
nice.
pit lane is good in my opinion, and the re-entry is relatively safe.
Yep, it comes in right into that kind of double. It's kind of like a weird hairpin.
Yeah,
But I
this
like these
corner
weird
always catches
hairpins.
me out, especially because the exit gets very, very tight.
Yep. Yep, and I like they have that wall there. It makes that corner tougher to judge, just so you can't run wide. And hitting a wall just loses you so much speed. But yeah, that is Tokyo. One of my personal favorites. It's a lot of fun, very difficult track. Um, but we've got Acid coming up here on Babricki, gaining on him. What team is Babricki? I can't
It's
tell
gonna
from
be
the livery, but
Williams.
Williams, and then we've got the Haas behind him.
That is in fact a
Battling out
B
for
card.
P9. They're both in the points right now. I believe Acid had a pretty good race last week and finished in the points of P7, I believe it was, over in Japan.
In San
Suzuka.
Marino
San Marino.
was the last time.
Wait, Suzuka 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, Sugo was 2 weeks ago, man.
Oh shit, I've been gone for a while. Wow. No, but Acid, going to an American manufacturer, coming from Red Bull last season. I think he's kind of got a little bit of a something to prove this season, because Acid's been one of those legendary figures in motorsport, akin to like in GTA Motorsport, kind of akin to like I would say like a Fernando Alonso. He's been in the league so long. He did good a long time ago. He's still very good, and he will continue to be very good. But
Just has a
you
bit of
know,
that unk status.
yeah, a little unky, little unk status, but highly respected in the community.
Oh, that's a Big battle going on in front. I'm assuming there's going to be a bit of variety between the mediums and the hard strategies. I wonder how Spooky... I'm assuming Spooky went for pits, meaning Ferrari should be on a triple medium.
Wow, yeah, you'll be the guy I'll defer to for strategy on this race. I have no idea what's going on with the strategy, but we got 3 cars. Oh, we got some contact going into the hairpin. That's a Ferrari getting into Babricki, I believe it is, right? And Acid's going to use his curves on the inside of him. They're going to still be so close. Bumper to front wing there, going into the front corner. They got 4 cars piled up now. Any mistake from any of these guys could be catastrophic. We've seen it happen in this first little tight section here into the hairpin. Gonna stay pretty similar apart here. Nothing really happening. I think it's gonna stay like this for a minute, maybe into the hairpin. I think they're far enough apart now to where we might not see a dive bomb under the bridge hairpin. So they get pretty close. This is where you see moves happen because you get a little bit extra curves. Some guys tend to hold on to it. Some guys will use it, but nothing happens there as they go across the bridge, getting closer and tighter into this very tricky chicane. Ooh, nobody hits the slowdowns. Yep, we got a slowdown back there. So that's only going to be a 3-car battle now. I believe that was Babricki that went off track, hitting the slowdown. Versatile, actually. Tough to tell with those 2 liveries which cars we're looking at here. Coming back across the start finish straight. Skillmax, I believe that is Skillmax we're looking at there in the Haas.
Yeah.
Or no,
an that's Audi. An Audi, yeah.
An Audi.
Oh wow, those buildings are very hard to avoid. It looks like Marshall's almost starting a train here behind him.
He's getting a train ran on him behind him. He feels the pressure of the other 2 drivers behind him. Coming under the bridge, hairpin. Oh, and he makes the move down the inside. Ferrari uses his curves. Skillmax is going to not have any opportunity to actually make that overtake work, but I think Marshall is going to stay and just file behind here. He's going to have a little bit of extra curves coming down into the straightaway. Is he going to make an attempt to get an overtake? He's going to burn it. Who's got more? He's going to send it down the inside, side by side into the hairpin as Spooky makes the switchback move on him work. Who's going to get the best of it into the straightaway? Nobody gets pushed off track. They're all going to use curves. Oh, and Spooky's going to make the move come back. Wow, this is a great battle we're watching here. What positions is this for here?
This is for P4.
For P4, this has been awesome fighting. This is why we love Tokyo. This is a great track. For this exact kind of racing, there's a few different curves lines you can use, a few different opportunities if you use them right to use your curves boost, to use your what do we call it IRL? What do you call it IRL now? Just boost.
Yes, boost. ERS deployment, I suppose. Oh wow, Versus was that a huge dive bomb from? Yeah, I guess Versa just absolutely sent it there. I think
he did.
I think Marshall's going to be in the hard tires, so I think these medium runners are getting very frustrated behind them because, of course, as a medium runner, the last thing you want is to get stuck behind a hard runner.
No, yeah.
Oh, that's
you want to get by as fast as you can. Your strategy relies on you getting by them very quickly. When you're on the hards, you know, it's a good situation. If you're able to keep the medium runners behind you, you're just gaining more and more time. As Skillmax and Versatile go side by side into the final corner into the front straightaway. Skillmax not going to have enough boost to get by for now as they approach into the turn 1 chicane. This would be for P5. Spooky now having a huge gap in front of Versatile and Skillmax. Have we seen a lot of pit stops yet? I don't know which ones of these guys need to pit. I think they might all be on the medium tire at the moment, so they might have a pretty similar pit window as they come into the hairpin underneath the bridge. They're going to be kind of spaced out a little bit. Maybe Skillmax got the better Versatile in that corner. He looks a lot closer now.
Yeah, so my assumption is going to be is that these guys have already pitted once, so this will be on their second pair of mediums. And anyone that pits around now should be a hard tire runner.
That would make sense to me.
Let's see if any of those guys went to the pits.
I think we actually saw Marshall pit. He's P10 now.
So honestly, it doesn't sound too bad for him being P10. I mean,
Top
how far
5
behind is he?
Lords. Is that Lords we got in the chat? I can't see how long ago he sent that message. Top 5 is currently Texi, Tokyo, Tino, Scare, Spooky, and Skillmax. We had some great battling for P4 earlier between Spooky, Skillmax, and Versa. The gaps have kind of widened a little bit now. I would say more so a battle for P5 or is that P6
This would
now? P5, P6.
this would be, yeah, it's the battle between P5 and P6, and then I think it's benefiting Brian quite a lot as he's getting back. Where did Brian go? Oh, just
He's gone.
I got lost. Bridges get confusing.
No, yeah, the bridge section. Yeah, Brian has a little bit of work to do here, but I think Brian will be keenly watching these two duke it out and battle it out. The more they kind of try to overtake each other and re-overtake each other, I think that's going to help Brian out a lot. That's also going to help Spooky kind of keep his gap pretty far and wide. But I think that gap has shrunk quite a bit now.
Yeah, it almost
Skillmax and
seems
Versatile, they're pretty rapid at the moment.
like Skillmax kind of decided to stay behind Versa, knowing that they have about a similar pace that's quicker than Spooky's. So might have decided to not battle them to catch back up to Spooky. But
Oh, what happened to Skillmax there?
slowdown, or is that a tire
Wow.
pop?
I couldn't tell. It almost looks like he did hit a slowdown.
Yeah, that's brought Brian pretty much right up to them.
Yeah, what was that? I'd love to know. That's just going to allow Versatile to get some fresh, clean air, chase down Spooky for P4, give him that opportunity as the battle for 4th place is kind of slowed down. Let's take a look around the track to see who else might be having a pretty close gap. We've got they're going by so fast I can barely see. I saw
Battle for
Acid there.
P8 behind.
That's Bricky, Acid, and Marshall. That's going to be for P7, 8, 9?
Those are the final points
8, 9.
positions.
Final points positions. Fighting for scraps down there on those final 3 point scoring positions.
Yeah, I think Twosies is going to be too far back to mount much of a problem. If I understand correctly, both him and Acid are going to be on the hard tires. So I think about Acid as the front runner, the hard tire strategies.
I think Tuesdays might be on a hard tire strategy if I were to guess.
Yeah,
Possibly. Which might explain his pace so far in the first half of the race.
Twosies did accidentally leak his strategy for the race. But yeah, that's Goofy coming out the pits.
It's
I think he's a blue
Trey. It's
flag.
tough to say what lap we're on right now. If I were to guess, somewhere in the mid-20s.
Yeah, we should theoretically be somewhere around 2025.
Yep, because we've seen some of those hard tire runners take their pit stops already. So far, we've seen the medium runners come in. I believe at one point we've seen them come in. They would now be on their 2nd stint.
What's the lead looking like? Not much has changed between the top 3, to be honest. Wow, the gap to P4 is huge, though.
Oh yeah, massive. I think that's Red Bull 1-2 we're looking at right now, right?
Yeah.
Red Bull 1-2, fantastic.
It's not going to be what Audi wants to hear because they're 1 point behind in constructors. So they were hoping to get some big points. I know they didn't really expect a lot of points this week after hearing Tokyo's and Texi's pace. But I'm sure they weren't expecting a P6 and a P3. But, you're not just fighting one team, you're fighting multiple cars on track.
Yep, you're fighting not only, multiple cars on track, you're also fighting yourself out there too. It's a race against yourself more than anything else. Just keeping consistent, trying to bang out as many good laps as you can. But these guys put so much practice in during the week leading up to these races. This is such a competitive league we have here, Formula V. Yeah, it's really tough. If you get a podium finish on any race in this league, it's very, very impressive.
Kind of wondering if there could be a Ferrari strategic option of maybe, just holding up Versa just a little bit and backing them, both him and Skillmax up into his teammate.
Oh,
But Spooky
Christopher
actually
goes into the
pitting
pits,
now. Is that
pitting
both
for
of
his
them? It's
final
gonna,
spin of mediums, I believe, would be the triple medium strategy is what they would be running, right?
yeah, that should be their final pit, which means we should be seeing a lot of other cars coming into the pits. Curious to see how it's going to look on pit exit when everyone comes out. Want to try and see if we can get to the leaders here and see what they're going to be doing around the pits. They're now around the middle sector.
Yeah, they've got a massive advantage on track here.
Yeah, I mean, both Red Bulls are just basically in a league of their own. I mean, Dino's there in the Audi as well, but he's just still a bit too far behind to try and think of an over or an undercut or really any type of strategical options. But let's see. Yeah, so that's going to be both Red Bulls into the pits as we predicted, and the Audi coming in as well. So we
One
see.
lap later than the Ferraris.
I wonder how that's going to pan out for the Ferraris. Well, that's why I'm excited to see where the Ferraris come on track in comparison to Versa and Skillmax. So we see them on the back straight now.
So yeah, because if you're watching or unfamiliar with how GTA works, the tires actually the slip rating is what causes the tires to go faster and slower based on the different tire compounds. So when your tires get more worn, you actually go faster. So you end up getting faster at the end of your stint. So the Ferrari being in one lap earlier might mean they get a little bit of extra speed on the final couple laps. It's not going to be by much, but maybe enough to make a difference if they're able to make it work until the end. So,
and also that is bad news for the meet for Skillmax first again. Very aggressive there.
Versa going off track, Skillmax capitalizing on that as they go side by side through the double left-hander into the bridge hairpin. They're going to be side by side as well. Versatile making a dive bomb on the inside.
Oh, Skillmax got crashed.
Oh, we got someone in the wall. Skillmax is in the wall. He might have damage. That is catastrophic for Skillmax on a beautiful race in P3, made his pit, got into traffic, and just got into it with Versa. That we might be investigating that after the race to see exactly what happened there. But that is just so not good for Skillmax. Not what he wanted to see today, especially with that battle trying to catch up to those Red Bulls. That is not going to be good.
I mean, at this point, Ferrari's going to be scoring more than Audi.
I think so. That is great news for the Ferraris. The Red Bulls don't really care. They seem to be in a world of their own at the moment. But that'll help them out with points surely as well.
Also, what I was going to say before that whole versus Skillmax situation happened, but we actually see Marshall coming out behind all the medium tires runners. So I don't think that the hard tire strategies worked for any of them because they would have wanted to be ahead of the medium runners once they came out the pits. But they seem to be quite far off it. Oh, Skillmax sending it.
It's tough. And if there's a track where you can run triple medium, any sort of hard strategy kind of just becomes like useless in my opinion. The hard tires are just so slow on those first 8 to 9, 10 laps. Your pace is just so bad that it's just like 90% of the time is not worth it to run any sort of hard strategy. It really just depends on the track and the tire compound that you'd be running on the track. But for this kind of track like Tokyo, triple mediums, it's just,
just whenever you see triple mediums come up in your testing, it's always, the first thing that you want to be running in the race. You don't really think of too much else.
No, I get excited for triple medium tracks. I just know that strategy won't really play a huge factor. It's just going to come down to raw pace. So.
Yeah, it's always one of those difficult ones. Whenever, you start seeing your strategy start looking like a medium soft or a soft medium or even a soft hard, and it's just never something that you like seeing.
No, especially soft hard. It's just, I don't know if I've ever seen that work.
Yeah, no.
To be honest with you.
There's so many times where in testing it seems like, oh, this will be the fastest, or whatever, but then it just works out being the complete opposite.
Mm.
Doesn't even look like Skillmax is making up his times very
So
quickly.
he didn't get damage. He did not have to pit.
Yeah, thankfully not, because I would have really thrown a spanner in the mix for him and for Audi. But I'm sure Skillmax is going to believe that will be a penalty for Versa, because it seemed like they were alongside, and then Versa was a car on the inside that did not leave him enough room. But of course, from spectator POV and the desync, we aren't able to see for sure. But I'm sure Brian and Skillmax will keep that in mind and just try and stay within a gap of Versa.
And for Skill Max right now, it's all about making up for lost time there from an incident with Versa. He's been very fast today, so I think he's got a chance to if he just kind of locks back in. No doubt frustrated by that incident with Versa. For sure. How does the order look at the moment? We've got Texi in P1, Tokyo in P2, Mr. Tino in P3, Spooky P4, Versa P5, Brian in P6, Skillmax P7. That's going to round out your main point scoring positions, with Marshall Babricki and Acid following up in the bottom portion of the point scores.
We should be having a... Oh, Babricki's a lot further behind than I expected, but that should also be another battle that should start happening towards the end of the race, is Babricki being on the mediums, Marshall on the hards, so they should start coming together towards the end.
Got some people in chat. What's up, Zidley? How we doing? Jimbo, Real Red Bull won this title. Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty early in the season, but I mean, you know,
1-2 is always quite a
it's,
dominant showing.
yeah, I mean, it's gonna put them so far ahead that you may be right, Jimbo, but you know, a lot can happen.
Was that?
Red Bull domination.
That's goofy, a blue flag letting Spooky by there. I thought we were seeing a battle going. Oh. Glad I'm not on a helicopter, because I think I would have crashed into a couple of buildings already.
Oh, no doubt.
Well,
I really like the change to the oppressor.
oh yeah, no, it makes a lot. That's a goofy disconnect. That should be somewhere around here. Yeah, his car's going to be off track, so we shouldn't have any situations. You never like to see someone disconnect towards the end, because it often means it could throw a spanner in, because it could cause a safety car or a red flag, depending on the position of the car. But we currently don't have a safety car that could have moved the car if it was in the way. So a DSC was something that scared me a little bit there.
Definitely could have been a messed up situation for sure.
Yeah, because me and the race director are both ghosted, so we completely won't be able to move a car. Oh wow, Skill Max definitely picked up the pace. He's starting to catch up quite drastically now, considering how much further back he was.
Yep, catching Mr. Brian. Skillmax is very, very fast. You know, having that incident earlier was not helpful for him. I mean, no doubt he'd be definitely ahead of Versa, or maybe in line with Versa. He might even be trying to catch, what would that be, P4 with the Ferrari?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I think he definitely would have had a shot at a P4 if we took that incident away. And then of course he had almost practically a back of the grid for qualifying after having a very marginal severe track limit. So this is not exactly Skillmax's weekend.
No, it hasn't played out for him the way I think he would have wanted so far, but still got some race left for him to be able to make up at least what he can.
I mean, he's just
in the
getting
points.
closer and closer to Brian. I would not be surprised if we see that move made before the end of the race, as we should be coming on towards the last couple of laps here. I'd assume somewhere around 5 or 6 laps left.
We've seen a lot of moves in this kind of straight section. Oh, well, if they can get better curves harvesting, where we really see the moves is after this hairpin that goes under the bridge into this long, wide right-hander. That is where we like to you typically see the curves boost because most people tend to hold it for the bridge to get those extra upshifts earlier going into the chicane. So if you're looking for an overtake, it's going to be there. Or right here. It really just kind of depends what line these guys are running.
It looks like Spooky and Skill makes a slight different boost deployment. It's almost... I thought they were a bit further away, but then after that, they looked a lot closer. Actually, Spooky has actually got a surprising amount of pace versus not really getting any closer to him.
Skill Max now extremely close to the rear wing of the Ferrari. If we're going to see a move, we might see it on this lap or the next, but it just seems like Skill Max is just incrementally catching him lap by lap. Mr. Brian, no doubt, is shaking a little bit. Having the Audi driver behind him this would be the spot for Skill Max to make the move. He's just going to stay behind Mr. Brian for now, maybe even tapping his bumper into that corner. No curves being deployed on the bridge. I think it's all going to be saved for this final straightaway as they come through the chicane, past the pit entry.
I do
Now
wonder...
the curves is being deployed. Skill Max, oh man, he's getting so much closer, but nothing, not enough there to make any sort of kind of heroic move into the hairpin.
do wonder what Brian would have running through his head. Think about what he could do to keep this place, as he knows he has almost, well, one of the drivers competing for the Drivers' Championship behind him that's hungry to gain as many positions as possible. But we must also be scared that Skillmax might send a bit of a move that would be a bit unexpected, but so now it seems like Skillmax is going for the defaults, but maybe another lap behind and then he does something a bit unusual.
I think for Skill Max, I think he knows he's not going to make a mistake. There's no reason for him to make any sort of heroic moves. I mean, at best, if he gets by him, he's still got multiple laps to catch Versatile. So depending on how many laps we've got left, he might just be trying to bide his time and wait for Brian to make a mistake, which it would be the wise decision. You know, don't want to throw it all away again, especially after having that incident with Versa. You're going to get Versatile on a penalty, most likely, depending on how that looks. So he's got, you know, even if he passes Versatile on track, which at this point is unlikely, might just be best for him to kind of, once he gets by Brian, he'll get the track position, get a penalty on Versa. Maybe he jump starts back up into P5 would be, I'd say, if he's able to get this move here, what I would see for Skill Max.
It almost looks like Brian's lifting on the apexes to try and farm a bit of cursing. Catch Skillmax lacking. But could also just be a spectator POV if, of course, we've got a decent little bit of desync.
It could be a weird desync thing.
Any moves here? Doesn't seem like it.
The hairpin underneath the bridge. Skill Max just going to hold his curves.
From my side, it's quite impressive patience. I think I would have sent the move about 3 or 4 laps ago.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you there. There was a short moment in time where I think Skill Max could have made a move.
Yeah, but I think he's... I don't quite know what his mindset is, but I'm assuming he's just trying to at least secure something by the end of it. He's slowed down a decent amount there. Not quite sure what happened. But yeah, still nothing quite yet. Oh wow, I just realized Spooky's been absolutely gapping Versa as well.
I'm going to check in and get a lap check from one of the guys here, one of the team managers, just to see how many laps we have left to go.
Yeah, it feels like we are around the finishing laps. Oh, that's Skill Max sending it.
Move. down the inside of the hairpin on the bridge. He gets a switchback on him, though. Great move to defend that position from Brian as they go to the long right-hander over the bridge. They're both going to use a little bit of KERS.
That's Texie
Oh, this is
finishing
the
in
final lap.
P1.
Taxi's going to come in first place. Is your race winner Tokyo in P2? That's going to be a Red Bull 1-2 once again as Brian hits the slowdown. Skillmax is going to go on the inside of him into the final straightaway. Brian's going to have a little bit more KERS. Is Skillmax going to make a dive bomb down the inside? He will make the move as Brian attempts to go back to the switchback. Who's going to have more boost
Oh,
going into the
Brian's
final straight? It's going to
tires.
be Skillmax as there's a tire failure for Mr. Brian. What a great finish to that race. Wow. Down to the end. Skillmax waiting for the perfect opportunity to make that move as we have him Brian finishing in 7th. That's going to be Marshall in 8th, Baburki in 9th, Acid in 10th, Tuesdays in 11th. And your top 3 podium winners are Texie, P1, winner of the race here in Tokyo. Tokyo, would have made sense for him to win the race here. I don't know, just wouldn't have made sense. But he finishes in P2, strong showing from these 2 Red Bulls. And Mr. Tino able to get some points for the Audis here in P3. Not the most amount of points. Still going to lose a lot to the Red Bulls here, as we see Mr. Spooky in the Ferrari and Versatile in P5.
Yeah, I was actually thinking Red Bull, of course you got Texie going for the drivers, but I thought it would be quite funny if they did a bit of team orders and let Tokyo win, but
Yeah.
I mean, every point
I
counts in terms of the drivers, so I understand why they didn't, but
definitely. Yeah, and anytime you're doing any sort of like team orders as well, there's always a chance for it to go wrong. So I like the play here from Red Bull to keep the order the same. They've got plenty of time to do any sort of team orders later on. And that's how's that going to shake up our point standings here?
let me really quick pull up the old points. We can maybe try and work it out a little bit. So currently in terms of drivers, Skillmax was leading with 55 points. Verse in P2 with 53 and Texie in P3 with 43, which I believe means Texie will be taking over the lead in the drivers. Does it put Tokyo? No. So let me actually get those up on stream.
Should we pull one of these podium winners into the call for an interview, post-race interview?
If you'd like to.
That might be interesting. Oh, we've got our previous season champion Brooder actually in the paddock, but might not be the best to pull on stream. I think.
No, I think
No,
that's a
that's a disaster waiting to happen.
yeah. That one might not exactly be the best idea.
Yeah, we might lose our monetization.
Yeah, most likely.
For our 11 viewers, our 3 cents that we made today, folks. Nice. So there are your point standings.
So that's going to be the constructor standings there. So this was the constructors, of course, before the Tokyo results. So we still need to go through penalties, which the drivers should all be submitting now. And then we've got the drivers.
There is the drivers.
This is not going to be easy to do.
It's very tight between these top.
What's the best way I can do
top
this?
4, top 5 even.
I guess make that a bit smaller so that that fits. Yeah, I mean, the constructors has definitely opened up a lot after today with the results, but I think the drivers has almost done a complete 180, I suppose. Because let me grab today's results as soon as that's posted. There we go. Yeah, results.
Now, this is pending penalties, which I don't think there were many incidents in the front of the order here. So I would say anywhere from P1 to 4. I would say that's going to roughly stay the same if I were to make a guess. But we did see an incident there with Versatile and Skill Max right towards down the end of the race there. So might be seeing a little bit of a switch in the order there. That's about what I would expect, barring anything else gets submitted by these guys.
Yeah, so Tokyo and Texi. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking Audi, Tino, and Skillmax getting a P3 and P6 while their constructors rivals getting a P, getting a 1-2. So that's gonna put a huge gap for Audi to make up. And then we've got Frosty that we should be able to pull in. Frosty, if you want to join Driver's Paddock, we can pull you in for interviews.
Let us know.
If you want to get any other drivers as well. Any of them? Oh, there he is. Wait. How can I pull him in there? That's easy. Move to stream call. That was not the right call. What call is he in? Oh. Wait. Apparently we have 2 stream calls.
You have 2 stream calls?
Apparently
Hello.
so. Hello,
That's
Frosty.
cool. Hello, I'm on the stream, guys. Hello.
How are you feeling after your team getting a fantastic 1-2 tonight?
Yeah, so as you know, like guys, the preparation that goes behind the scenes to get a P1 and P2, it's just hours and hours of practice. Yeah, I mean, as a manager, I'm very happy, but I knew my boys would do it with a blink of the eye, So like the practice is just for them to chill a little bit, but yeah, a good race from everyone. Unlucky with QMax and Versa. Versa fucked his race. Oh, I cannot say this kind of things on stream. My bad. Oh,
We are live.
I think you
Yes,
can
yes.
actually. I don't think it matters too much.
There goes our
Yeah.
sponsors.
So for us, in terms of constructors and champions, we're leading constructors and drivers. So for us, it's like a very good race. Very, very good race. Couldn't be better.
So, Frosty, the new lineup you have between these 2 drivers, how do you feel about these 2 guys? What have you seen so far from them this season, and what are you most excited about?
I mean, we're definitely aiming for the drivers and the constructors. I think this is like the only goal that's worth pursuing on. So we not want anything below that. With Taxi and Versa, with Tokyo was of course like the question. I was like scouting them last season. I was like, I was very impressed with Taxi and Tokyo. Like they brought like the Alpine team to a new stand, which got my attention, and they work super well together. So I think like without Taxi, you cannot have Tokyo, and without Tokyo, you cannot have Taxi. So probably the strongest lineup ever this season.
We've seen that so far as well. I mean, these 2 guys have had many great races. We saw it first here today. How would you say the dynamic is between these 2 guys if it comes down towards the end of the season and the points get closer? Do you see any potential, any potential fireworks happening there? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's very soon to tell. We have a lot of competition. We still have SkillMax, we still have Versa, we still have a lot of guys coming for us. So if it comes to that, like between Toxio and Taxi, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a fair race between them, and they're gonna battle on the track, not outside. So yeah, I think of course fireworks are part of the show, so it must have a little bit fireworks, but besides that, nothing major, nothing like to kill the relationship between them.
I actually really like that. Fireworks are part of the show.
Yeah, that was good. Well done. Great answer. No, yeah, thank you for the interview.
Yeah, thank
you.
you,
Want to
guys.
go celebrate with your team, so we'll let you get back to that.
Yes, of course. Thank you, and we're hosting NASCAR soon, so see you.
Yes.
Yep. If you're watching the stream, folks, NASCAR will be starting soon in about 30 minutes. This will not
yeah.
be live streamed, unfortunately, but I think you'd rather want to race that instead of watch it, in my opinion. So join in Formula V Discord Drivers Paddock if you guys want to race NASCAR. Thanks for watching.
Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Alright. Yeah.